It's a new era in Chiefs football, and it's all due to one defensive tackle, Omarr Norman-Lott. Chiefs got him under contract. It's been a tough road, to be honest, because all these guys that are second-round picks have been really, really battling for what their contract language says. At this point, there are still 14 second-round picks not under contract, but the Chiefs made sure to make sure that they are not one of those teams anymore. It allows them to get their pass rush under control and stacked up, ready for what they're going to do come training camp. And that is, they're going to have to give Omarr Norman-Lott a ton of reps to try to see in what they actually have in him. Because right now, it's a question mark. Yes, he can rush the passer. Don't know if he can do that on anything more than third down currently. The projection is there. I believe in the projection. We'll see how they get there. They've been doing a good job trying to give him volume throughout OTAs. And that's one thing when it's on pads. And it's 7-on-7, basically. You're not getting a whole lot of pass rush. What's about to happen is it's about to get real. And I think Norman-Lott wants to live up to the persona that he puts out there. I do think that he can. I think he can be that inside rush next to Chris Jones. And just as I was getting ready to make this, the Chiefs signed George Karlaftis. You may actually have seen that video before this one. That changes things because now Norman-Lott knows who's going to be next to him for the majority, the entire length of his rookie contract. That helps a defensive tackle understand what his role is. Now, with Chris Jones there, obviously a mentor, a guy to learn from, a Hall of Famer in the end. I think certainly a Ring of Honor guy. Chris Jones is going to be able to give him a lot of pointers and a lot of direction, but having the other side anchored down as well, that does make a difference. Norman-Lott has to prove it, though. A lot of Chiefs fans are already fired up about what he can do and what he can't do and when it's going to get there, and that's the big question mark. For those that are totally in his favor, they're like, why are you talking down on Omarr? That's because he hasn't done anything, because he's still a rookie in the NFL. And if you're not a top 10 projection, you're still always going to deal with some question marks as you move into the league. There are second-round picks that fail, so you got to be prepared for that. For those that are like, why are you talking up the rookie? This is why, because he has the ability to make an impact at this level. He's just not experienced yet. And the bigger rub is he's not totally experienced at the previous level. College level is one thing. You can get away with only rushing the passer every now and then and still have an impact on the outcome of ball games. In the NFL, it takes more than that. It takes a consistency, because when you're dealing with NFL caliber offensive linemen, they will figure you out a whole hell of a lot faster than anybody ever did in college. That's just the nature of the beast. It is a jump. So whether he starts out slow or he hits the ground running, that remains to be seen. Look for the days that the pads come on. That's the key for Omarr Norman-Lott to make an impact, is what do we see out the gate? The step up from the starting point is what's going to tell us what the trajectory can be. If it's slow, if it's looks like he doesn't know exactly what he's doing or how he can work around what is a good offensive line, but I wouldn't say, well, I guess I should say that, to tell you the truth, especially now with Trey back in there. He's going to get to rush against Kingsley at times, against Caliendo at times. We should see him be productive in those reps in camp. If he's not, then we need to wait a little bit more. If we get out of camp and we're still not seeing him be productive on the reps that he gets, then we know that he's got a little bit farther to go. But if he hits the ground running and he gets out there, they put the pads on, and he's winning reps against those guys. If he's winning reps, particularly against Trey, now that Trey's under contract, that's a sign for the future that everything that the super pro Norman-Lott guys are saying is absolutely accurate. It's just a question still at this point. So if you're a Norman-Lott fan and you think I'm too down on him, just wait. I'm going to get there if we deserve to get there. And for those of you that think I'm pumping up a rookie that has no business being at the top of the list for anything on this team, well, understand that there's projection involved, and that's what the team wants to do. They chose him for that reason. Second round's been a tough round for Brett Veach. He's made a couple of choices earlier in his GM administration that maybe were questionable. He's had a little bit of trouble. Some second rounders haven't panned out. for whatever reason, this one has to be something that we recognize early. There isn't a whole lot of time to be the next Felix Anudike-Uzomah, who I do think is probably going to be able to make some kind of step forward this year. If it's a leap, that's great. But we all know that when he was drafted high, had mid-second round grades from both me, as well as a lot of the draft analysts that I respect, including our own Dan Harms, who's now at Bleacher Report. But a lot of them around the league understand that there was a gap there. They had to do what they had to do. Norman-Lott, I think, actually fell farther than he should have. I think my projection for him is actually higher than the place that he was drafted. So those are two separate things, different scenarios to get to the same place. We're going to have to see how that goes out. So no matter what side of the Norman-Lott thing you're on, make sure that you're following us, that you're subscribed to this channel, because we're going to lay it all out for you. We're going to be point blank. We're going to try to give you pieces both long and short on the Q&As on every Monday night, all year round. We're going to give you Sunday night reactions, so don't miss that. If there's a live stream, you want to be on ours, because we're going to tell you the truth immediately after it's over. And we're going to try to give you film reviews, stat reviews, projections, everything that's going to be quick and easy. This is the place that you want to get stuff, as we're going to lay it out for you, super straightforward. No hype, no BS. We're going to tell you the truth. Like it, love it, or hate it. We're going to give it to you. Make sure that you're here. Thanks for being with me today. I'll catch you next time.